to believe we are live. So I'll say indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you so much for joining me again on another Conscious Evolution. Today's stream topic is about how fear will masquerade as a storyteller. We had this one day where on stream we reached a point where I mentioned that excuses is fear masquerading as a storyteller. And every single time we find ourselves in that willingness to make excuses, it is literally our fear masquerading as a storyteller, right? Fear of not being good enough, fear of not knowing how to do the thing you believe you're supposed to do, fear of trying and failing. So many different types of fear, but still that fear kind of masquerading as the storyteller, right? Being very convincing. In the story, it tells itself about why you ought not, why you couldn't, why you weren't able to, even if you wanted to, etc., etc. It is nice having you friends here. I am feeling particularly tired today. I will bust out a piece of pineapple chunks. Oh, I like this topic. Call me out. You feel call out, beloved Joe. That was not the intention. Uh, More just a reminder. It smells nice. Just a little bit of a reminder. Just a little, tappy tappy on the conscious door of our minds, being like, hey, I know you're good at making all of these excuses, but have you considered that maybe, just maybe, these excuses are your fears masquerading as storytellers? And I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not opposed to being wrong. I think I might have overdone. No, that's fine. I wanted exactly that much pineapple chunks. Maybe I might be wrong. But just in asking these questions, right, maybe that brings up something in your mind that allows you to ask the questions that you're supposed to ask of yourself right now, right? What questions should you ask? What excuses have you been making? What excuses have I been making? I've been making excuses when it comes to my food choices. Fear masquerading as a storyteller. And the story I'm telling myself is that this is my circumstances right now, right? Like, for instance, here at this home, I'm instantly noticing my consumption of highly processed foods have gone up exponentially. And with this increase of highly processed foods, I can feel my body feeling heavier as a result of it. This sense of base level in my body, right? And I can't really make excuses. Uh, I did that. I ate those chips or whatever's. All right, nobody else's fault. But at the same time, I can also see how the version of me that wants to has very good excuses as to why it needs to continue. Morning, friends. Morning, Jovi. It's you and Jovan here with me now. These pineapple chunks do smell nice. The plant I'm to harvest soon has this fruity, almost like mandarin smell to it, mandarin gas, which I don't think is necessarily the terpene profiles you should be expecting from a white rhino plant, but mandarin gas is the closest I can give you to a description, and it smells amazing. It smells so amazing. I think maybe some of my feelings of dissociation might be from all of those terpenes I've been smelling. Maybe I've been getting even harder medicine or something. If I make the excuses myself, maybe I can skip the fear response. No, no, I don't think so. I think literally the act of making the excuse is technically a fear response, right? Because again, I'm not saying that that's how it is. I'm just saying that that's how it is for today's stream, right? To make us think, like maybe you're invited to a party, right? And then you start making excuses. Maybe on a base level, you just want to chill. You just want to be at home, you know, vape a little bit of bud, watch your favorite show. That's what you want to do with your weekend or your Saturday. And now you're invited to this party, and now you're starting to make these excuses, right? Trying to think about excuses to tell this person. And again, right, like your core intention, your core truth may not be based in fear. Your core truth may be just based in wanting to chillax kind of vibe. However, in trying to communicate to the person that invited you, suddenly fear arises because you just telling them, no person, I don't want to hang out with you this weekend. I want to vape my weed and play my games, is met with a certain level of fear. We don't want to say that to this person who invited us because how is that going to look? Maybe they'll feel bad. Maybe they'll never invite me to something again. So we make excuses, right? Because we are operating technically from a place of fear. If there was no fear, you would just be like, nah, no, no, friend, I love you and I love hanging out with you, but this weekend I want to vegetate. I don't want to, social energy exchange. And even though I believe you'll have a good time overcoming those excuses, right? Like you'll literally have a good time not eating that fear. Uh, there is a certain level of coyness that I feel has been lost between us and how we exchange information. I'm a sofa specialist. Tell me about it, Simon. Tell me about it. Are you a sofa specialist because you fear the outside world and the interactions that await you there, or are you a sofa specialist because that's where you feel safe? You see how I prompted you to give me the same information in different ways. And Sam is here. Isn't it a blessing? Thank you, friends. Thank you to you. I don't have to know your name, just you. If you can hear you and be like, what, me? And I'll go, yes, you. Thank you for joining me in this moment. No, just lazy. Yeah. Laziness. Laziness. I don't believe in laziness. Have I ever told you that, Simon? I was told my whole life about how lazy I am. Right? My teachers, my parents, even my fellow students. The gall to tell me that I'm lazy. And I realized this about myself only later in life that I am, in fact, not lazy. I am just very deliberate with how I spend my energy. And if I do not find any soul value, no satisfaction, no sense of fulfillment in doing something, then it becomes extraneously hard for me to do so. I'm watching an ant peel something out of the cracks of my sandal. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna come back to it. So yeah, showing myself later in life that laziness is very much a function of want or desire. Maybe I should use that word instead. Laziness is a function of desire. If there is zero desire in my heart to do something, now suddenly I'm lazy. Right? Now people would be able to look at me and go, this person lazy. But if there is an extreme amount of desire in my heart to do something, people will look at me and go, oh, look at the dedication. Look at all of the commitment. Look at all of that discipline. When technically, both of them are completely dependent on the desire to do something. This, for example, right? This is something I desire to do. I desire to have meaningful conversations with my friends. I desire to grow as an individual through these conversations. I desire to show up day by day because I believe there is something special. There is something energetically shifting to waking up to a new day and showing up for that new day, right? So these are all of the desires I have. And because of all of this desire, it is it is not easy, but it is easier for me to continue doing this day after day, right? Where if my dad told me, from tomorrow, I am going to have to show up every single day for the spraying of the cows or whatever, right? Like tick spraying the cows. Uh, I might be able to do it for 2 days, for 3 days, but eventually the desire to do that is going to fade. And as the desire fades, and I no longer want to do it, I'm suddenly going to be called lazy again by my parents. So, what am I trying to say, Simon? I'm trying to say that maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you just need to find experiences worth desiring. Ginger doesn't like the baby kitty. Gingy, you think that baby kitty is gonna do something to you? That baby kitty won't do anything, bro. Correct yourself. All right. Mm-hmm. That should be it. It takes massive amounts of my energy to be out in the world. Sometimes I absolutely cannot do it. So, I'm not saying I disagree with you at all, right? I believe 100% that there is this energy of I cannot do that, right? Like the excuse generator is so convincing that you just simply cannot. I want to bring it back and ask you what what can, right? Like I'm thinking back to that time you went out to go bird watching, Joy Vive, or that time you went out to watch Dune, right? Surely there was some level of overcoming desire, like in the seeing of the burbs or the seeing of that movie that convinced you to be able to go outside, that gave you the energy to be able to go outside. And I feel again in identifying what these things are, what those things are that give us enough energy, it again allows us to win against that fear response and the excuses that it generates in our minds, right? Like, yeah, scared, but also watch Dune. Yeah, scared, social interaction, but also see birds. And the desire of seeing birds is greater than the desire of staying comfortable inside our homes, right? And then that desire literally allows us to overcome that hump of our comfort. At least that's the way I try to see it. Is that fit? Bless you. Nancy's here too, sending your love-ins. Love to you. I think I have said love to Sam. Love to everyone here. The Victorian era English venerated the home and thought it one of the most important places. Is that settlement still around, Simon? Am I not on all messages? I am now. A sofa specialist. Maybe it's a sofa specialist message. I'm guessing. I can't make excuses because I'm lazy. No, 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 not at all. Do I say you can't do that? Right? I'm saying laziness is again technically a fear, technically, right? Because for me at least, when I feel lazy, it's because I fear being bored. I fear being uncomfortable. I fear that state of frustration, of being over it, right? Maybe fear might not be the word you use, but fear is an aversion to something, right? So still laziness is a kind of fear, I believe. So, right? By fear, get lazy. By lazy, get excuses. Still, fear masquerading as a storyteller. I like how Sam is squinting eyeing me and like, yeah, whatever you say, bro. Enough, a demon on the couch. So you did get out of bed on your staycation. True. Made his way all the way to the couch. Bless him. Thank you, Fit. I have some pineapple chunks. It's supposed to be at least completely sativa strain. So with that in mind, I give myself energy. I give myself kindness. I give myself deep appreciation for the world around me. I open my eyes to see the beauty. Mm, we love you showing up now, and I love showing up for you, friends, so much. Mm, this strain, it pleases me. But I do like pineapple, so I shouldn't be surprised. I'm really excited for my plants to be properly dried. If they taste even 10% the way they smell, I'm gonna be a happy person for the next year. I'm at that stage where it tastes like stir fry pineapple chunks. My Dynavap will be here tomorrow. Bless you. There we go. My body has recovered. I think you'll love it. I want to have Fit Demon, like while I was vaping this, I was thinking to myself that maybe Fit was going to use his Dynavap as well. And I was thinking to myself that if Fit is going to use his Dynavap, he probably has a little grinder of his own. And inside that grinder is a bud that I probably haven't tried or haven't seen before, thinking about all of the hands that that bud had to go through to eventually reach Fit and him being able to appreciate that experience. I only now remembered that Fit actually uses a Dynavap as well, so that good stuff he gets is probably gonna last a while. So yeah, and now you'll be able to kind of start experiencing. So the point I was making is that for me, I was vaping on pineapple chunks, and that was coming with an experience, right? And I could taste it, and I could yeah, there's something there that has not been there for the other strains I've tasted. And then him getting to have his experience on the other side, doing the exact same thing, technically speaking, and yet having a different flavor experience and potentially a different entourage, mental experience as a result of it as well. And then thinking about you being able to now start gaining that depth. I look forward to you letting me know that, Melt, I tried these two different strains, and I want you to try like two vastly different ones if you're going to go and get yourself something. I don't know if you like the lemonine strains, but I would highly recommend you get something very lemony because with this thing the lemonine shines, and then maybe something gassy, right? Extreme gas, right? Gas on gas is also very nice on that thing. So I think those two strains will give you such a big, swing of experience and differences that you'll hopefully be just as fascinated as I am. I look forward to Joy V being like, I'm vaping on this strain and it tastes like so and so. And Melt, I'm so sorry that I said weed just tastes like weed, and me being like, yeah, yeah, feels good about self. Does totally. Love you. Joy V, Loizanas here with us, blessing our friends. Thank you for joining us. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay, motor pause, getting the knife sharpened. Ginger really loves that particular stump as well. Maybe this should be my shot, right? Little domestic lion and person lion, just chilling, just having a good time. It's gonna taste like weed. It's not gonna taste like weed, Joy V. You're gonna be surprised. I promise. I promise. You're gonna be starry-eyed. You're gonna fall in love with weed all over again. That's what I want for you, right? Because that's what happened to me. It did help that I took a break. I don't know if you want to do that. Uh, because it'll be here tomorrow. Mine, I took a month off before I came back to the Dynavap, and I think that definitely helped my appreciation thereof as well. But you ain't gotta do that. Just switching from joints to the Dynavap is already gonna be like a, oh wow, this is what it's supposed to taste like. What kind of lighter did you get yourself? I didn't ask last time. You didn't get the induction heater one, did you? I'm saying you didn't because I would be jealous if you did. Just a little bit, and then I'll be like happy for you or whatever. A thing you said yesterday had me thinking, Melt. It was about washing a cup after making a coffee so that you can complete a task and receive the dopamine after closing the loop. A healthy dopamine hit. How did you do that, the demon? Let me see. I suffer from laziness too, and I think it might have something to do with my inability to close loops daily. I need to work on that. Start with the coffee. All right. I think Gingy just moved himself out of frame. He was like, "Bro, stop filming me." Stop, sorry, Gingy. You're you're a star of the showing right now, dude. You can just sit there looking disinterested, and people will still love you, bro. Lucky fish. So yeah, it can start with just that coffee cup, and then you can apply that same reasoning, that same logic to something else, right? If you want to start writing, you can create a loop of, okay, if I want to write, what does my loop look like? Probably show up in the place I'm going to write in. Probably sit down in front of the thing I'm going to write on. Computer, cell phone, pen and paper, doesn't matter, right? Sit down with your medium on which you want to write. Allocate a certain amount of time, right? Do it 50 minutes, do it an hour. I wanted to say 15 minutes. Do it 15 minutes, do it an hour, right? And then after you have spent that time, roll down, uh, go outside and do a stretch. And then you get to be like, good me having sat down, having tried to write, having stretched. And then you can go on to the next task or to drinking another coffee or to eating something or whatever, right? Because then you give yourself a very tangible loop if you can complete, right? You make it simple for yourself because we are very much path of least resistance animals. If you make it hard for yourself to do something, you probably won't. Surprise, surprise, right? So yeah, that's the thing that has helped me. I have a very cyclical nature to my day, especially when it comes to like 3 p.m. Once 3 p.m. strikes, it is get ready yoga. After yoga, live stream. After live stream, if I'm efficient enough, I'll sit down directly and start making my flower. Here it has been again conversational. After live stream, talk to family. At home, it is also kind of like that. Either like that of like get into a conversation or sit down and dissociate or start cooking. And after I cook and I eat, I start making flour, right? So there is this like pattern of like, okay, what do I feel I need to do today? And we've tried to create patterns as well, right? Of like trying to simplify it, and then you can attach to your life however you want to see these things, unfold. I believe that the things that we're always going to have to continue doing, no matter how advanced our technology gets, is express ourselves, right? And that, to me, looks like three different things. The expression of self is, on one level, physical, right? You can dance, you can move this body, you can take care of this body by exercising. And that is an expression. When you exercise, right, there is a certain genetic expression that is available to you, certain muscle mass, certain fat percentage distribution, right? And by exercising, you are expressing. that exercised a version of yourself. That's one form of expression. Finding again a loop in your day where you express yourself in that way. It can be dancing, it can be playing squash with a friend, it can be playing tennis, it can be just walking around your block a few times. It doesn't matter. Just express that movement, that physical side of yourself. Secondly, is express your creativity, right? There is this thing placed on every single person's heart that wants to come out into this plane of existence, that wants to be seen, right? And you need to find what that is. And it doesn't have to happen today. You can spend your whole life finding what that is. You can find it when you're 80 years old and then fully give that thing for the next 5 years and die at 85 and you would have lived a meaningful life, right? So I want to make that clear. Doesn't matter when you start doing it, just that you figure out what you're supposed to do at some point. And then the last one is conversation, right? Expressing ourselves through conversation. That's also something that's going to have to continue to happen. No matter how good the tech gets, we're going to have to move our bodies. We're going to have to communicate things. And maybe the medium of communication, our language will change, but we'll still have to be able to express ourselves, right? The inside crazy needs to come out coherent enough with the other person to understand what it is we're trying to say to them. And then again, the art. Whatever art is to you, might be music, might be painting, might be the way you keep your garden. That can be a work of art. It can be the way you look, the way you make up yourself, the way you dress. That can be your art. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter from the perspective of the universe isn't going to look upon your art and go, no, this form of expression, not, right? The universe is going to be like, yeah, good, express. We have a whole stream topic lined up and maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow. Again, if you don't express that thing that is in your soul, in your heart, in your beingness to bring into this world for it to be seen, if you don't do that, it won't be seen. It will disappear with you forever. And that's a shame. Don't let that happen. Gingy, what would you say, Gingy? Would you say meow? Probably. You would probably just say meow. I'm trying to think about the expression of Ginger. Chill. Ginger is so chill. Like uber levels of chill. Hello, Zana. I was thinking about you, weirdly enough, while I was in a rant. Bless you. Thank you for joining us. It's nice having you here. Laziness is a superpower. The ability to distill difficult tasks into the least energetically taxing route possible is called efficiency in business circles and highly prized. Know your worth, yo. This is true. This is true, right? But if you are, unfortunately, using that efficiency, if you are saving that energy at the expense of your future, right, then that is not energy worth saving kind of vibe, right? It's like and I'm making a very rough example, and it's not an attack of Sam, and Sam knows this, I hope at least, but it's like maybe you're doing mountain climbing, right? And it takes a lot of energy climbing that mountain. And then you get to like the midpoint where you have to climb up even more of the mountain so you can get over it. But then you don't. You just sit there, saving your energy. Right? That's the point I'm making. That sometimes we'll get into these patterns of hard work, and then we'll reach a point in ourselves where we'll be scared. We'll be scared whether or not it's gonna work. We'll be scared how successful we may become if we actually put in the effort that we are worth, right? And we might end up giving up, taking a break, telling ourselves stories of like it's so that I don't burn out. I believe burnout is more a function of having ourselves energetically scattered than spending our energy, right? Burnout is when if you have so many tabs open in your brain that You don't have the resources to be present for this moment. That is when you're burnt out, right? At least that's the way I see it. So if you are showing up for those three pillars, right, that fit that expression, if you're showing for that, if you're showing up for that expression, you shouldn't get burnt out. I feel, unfortunately, again, when it comes to our capitalist society, and Sam said it as well, when it comes to our business circles, that expression falls apart because you're basically trying to get other people to conform to the expression that you see for yourself, if you were the owner of the business at the very least. And now you're no longer working on your own self-expression, but you're trying to call others. So yeah, climb the mountain. If it's gonna cost some energy to climb the mountain, it will probably be worth it as well, right? I feel I do in part agree with Sam's fractal of efficiency, but I feel again, it's a matter of perspective, right? It's a matter of perspective. It's good to take breaks. That I won't disagree with. It's good to have those moments of nothing, right? Because again, I don't believe doing nothing, sitting and looking at a tree outside, would, in my mind, at the very least, register as laziness. I would call that mindfulness, right? Ah, look at this person being mindful. Not look at this person being lazy. Look at them being mindful. But again, that mindfulness, at least in my life, has allowed me to show up for this world with that mindfulness, right? So, again, maybe we have to relabel laziness in the first place. Maybe we have to start calling laziness fear, and stop using the word lazy altogether, right? If you see someone not wanting to do something, you should ask them, why does this scare you? Not why are you lazy, right? Because on the one, you are labeling a person with a trait. And I like how Sam is advocating for seeing this trait as a superpower to basically take back some power over our own lives, having potentially been traumatized being called a lazy person. But then to be asked instead, right? Why does this thing scare you? For example, I started learning how to use Blender, and I stopped because it was hard and I was lazy, to put it in so many words. However, that would be the how many words I would put it in, in my old state of mind. Asking myself, why does that software scare me? I can say there are so many buttons. There are so many interactions between buttons. There are so many actions between now and 50 actions from now that have so many interactions with the actions I want to take 50 actions from now again, right? And that messed with my brain because I didn't understand all of the interactions and I didn't have the patience to learn. And I also know where our future is heading and how easy it will be for me to eventually use software like that without having to understand the interaction. It's like, like the machine. I'm thinking about like operator error, right? Like if you are going to get into a machine and by pressing a few wrong buttons, the machine explodes, right? You can say the person is an idiot, and maybe they are. Maybe they're just an uneducated person in that moment. Or you could say there's bad design, or the machine isn't conscious of itself, kind of vibe, right? Where as soon as you add an AI filter layer over the software that you're using, that thing can understand things on a layer that you don't even have to. You don't have to you don't have to think about that stuff, but it can think about that stuff for you. So there's this part of me that leans into the laziness of kind of like kicking my feet back and waiting for things to catch up with where I want them to be. And there is a certain level of conserving energy. That's why I am agreeing with Sam's fractal of like conserving energy, because I know spending the energy it will take, spending the hours it will take for me to become a proper Blender professional is, again, like I've spent about 2,000 to 3,000 hours doing this. And I'm starting to get proficient at what this is, right? And I believe that I'll only be good 10,000 hours in. So I'm still 7 to 8,000 hours away. I'm still 3 to 4,000 days away from being proficient at this, right? And I'm okay with that. I'm willing to show up for the next 5,000 days if that's what it takes for me to be good at what I'm doing. But again, right, doing that for Blender, showing up for that loop of spending an hour every day, has not something that I have desired as much. And as a result of that, I have conserved my energy and put my energy into other things. I tried to learn how to use Blender before I ever started making my art, right? And if I could learn how to use Blender in a way that would be, like completely freeing of my creative abilities, I wouldn't be surprised if I got to that exact same point of making kaleidoscopic flowers. So, yeah, thank you for joining me on that rant. I see Duck Dad. Love you, bro. Sending you blessings. Zoom, 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 zoom. I like lying on my bed and looking out my window at the tree and the sky outside my window. Probably a lot of people would consider that lazy, and I don't care. I wonder if you said that before or after I said the whole looking at a tree mindfulness thing. I hope before, because that makes it even better. I was filling my Dynavav from my grinder as you said that. My TV narrating my weed prep is definitely a first for me. How about that, Fit Demon? How about that, bro? You have entered a new, like, I believe this is like a new stage of internet slash content creation, because for the longest time, content creation was very much like a, I am deciding what I want you to see, and there is still an element of me. Bless me. Thank you. That's very nice of you. There is still an element of me of wanting to show you what I want you to see, right? Like, I want you to now see the cows, right? Me, cows. I want you to see that. I showed up today with a stream topic, right? So I want you to see that. However, the place where it's a little bit different for me, at least, is the fact that you friends can actively comment. Thank you. There you go, Simon and Zano blessing me because I just sneezed, right? And now I can say something about that. That to me is why I enjoy this medium more than I do the actual just content creation aspect of it. Like sitting down in front of a camera and recording something isn't the same to me. It's not as interactive. And I would like this to grow in its interactability, like exponentially so. So many layers. But I'm gonna need help. So I appreciate you, friends, for helping. Seriously. Bless you. Simon, probably best to order directly from their website. They have good aftercare. It's gonna taste like weed. No, it's not gonna taste like weed. It's gonna taste like the strain you bought. Because you probably have been buying strains that they're like, yeah, terpene profile, strawberry, tropico. And you're like, yeah, whatever, it tastes like weed. And now for the first time in your life, you're actually going to taste those terpenes that we're talking about. I just see Duck got Riz. I mean, Duck got children. You would hope he has Riz. That man is as good enough Riz to have fathered a child. Sung by Ellie Goulding, Starry Eyed. I do not want to do that. The only time I take tea breaks is when I'm broke. I didn't buy a new lighter. Was I supposed to? I don't think a little torchy lighter is gonna work. Getting yourself like a little blowtorch. I mean, this is the best one I've been able to find. If you can find yourself one just like this, it's gonna be great. But get yourself a bigger one. Don't get the small. Don't get one that's this size. Get yourself one that feels good in the hand. Because unfortunately, the size of this nozzle is directly going to correlate to longevity. At least that's what I believe. Those small little ones are prone to breaking. You basically just want to distribute the heat of a lot of heat evenly over this little cap. And then it's going to let you know, hey, I am at 200 degrees Celsius. That is that little click. And then you stop adding heat. And then you pull that heat through the bud. And then as that heat slowly flows through the bud, it will bring with it THC, terpenes, some CBD, and the other cannabinoids that you can find in your weed. All right. No carcinogens because you're not combusting anything. There is no caramelization of sugars happening. Can you close, dear grinder friend? Please stop fighting me. Sit down and dissociate. 5:30 p.m. Normal Lou, very cute cat. Like Melty, bless. Ginger being kitty, loaf on log. Yeah, he's just chilling. Close enough to hear me, you know, but not close enough to prompt me into thinking he cares, kind of vibe. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Happy Easter to you. Bless you, Duck Dad. After painting the 75 paintings, I was burnt out. I can imagine you were, because I think you were probably like trying to like crank them out as well. Were you doing one a day, or were you trying to do as many a day as possible? Right? Like I do, I have done 820 individual flowers at this point. And I don't feel anywhere near burning out making my flowers, because even though I make multiple flowers a day, I'm making one. I'm making multiple flowers a day with the intention of reaching the creation of one. And then as soon as I get that one created, there is a deep sense of satisfaction and, again, loop having been completed in my mind. And then I get to move on with my life. Pepe! Stop that, alsjeblieft! Pepe! Pepe chill, ja. Ja. Mos. Mos chill, Pepe. Fuck. This was yesterday's flower. I just wanted to show you. I don't have any clothing left. I was supposed to be here only until today, so I packed until today, and we're gonna be here until Tuesday morning. So, yeah, I might have to use shirts again. I mean, I'm only now realizing how much red there's gonna be in the last three flowers. Like 1, 2, and 3 flowers gonna be very red heavy. Pepe! Stop that! Stop that! You see, my neurons. My neurons. Spike, 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 tension, 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 stress. You should be stressing. You should stress. You are in danger. You are stress. Okay. I packed my Dynavap again. Just in time. Love is true. Oh, Mel yelling at Pippi just like old times. No, I've learned nothing. I am just as irritable. I am just as autistic as I was the day I was born. Start self-medicating. Reading a study that people that are autistic are significantly more likely to self-medicate with drugs, including marijuana. Definitely did not come as a surprise to me. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Things are okay. The cows are a moving. My dad is chasing them. It's very fitting to me right now that you're talking about creativity. I'm currently reading Rick Rubin's book on creativity, and he expresses similar ideas. Have you read it? I haven't. I haven't read Rick Rubin's book, but hearing stuff like that fit, that other people are expressing the same ideas, it make me feel. It makes me feel such a sense of kinship. Like I'm not crazy. That if I can say the things I say as a person sitting on a yoga mat somewhere on a farm in South Africa, and people have said these things before, then surely these lessons are on every single one of our hearts. I am but being a momentary channel, a lens through which to look through, a mirror in which you get to see yourself. What do you see? What do you see in yourself looking at me? I'm asking myself the question as well. And the thing is, I see multiple versions of myself looking back at you. The more, the more aspect to Milkmore, huh? And yet, I feel I stay stable in personality, right? A little bit at least. I feel all of us can be bipolar in nature. We might not express quite as many bipolar behavior, but I think it's still possible for us. And I try to not. I try to stay on one side of the polarity, and I also don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. Maybe again, there's a way for me to channel the other side of my polarity. And I think I am. Like the other side of my polarity is self-isolation. I I I go away and I be alone. And I believe that that part of me hurts people as well, right? Because people usually tend to uh, blame blame themselves potentially for my want to be alone, right? Like, oh, there's something about me that makes that person want to be not with me or alone, which is not the case. I just have so much going on in my mind all the time. And when I'm trying to communicate, I try to uh, put that stuff kind of like in a subconscious layer of myself. And I'm occupying a different state for you, right? I basically morph. I melt into the version of me you need me to be in that moment, kind of vibe. I still try to be my same masculine self, but if you're coming to me crying, me being the melt that is joyful and upbeat and, chipper, you know, can't die, like that's not going to be helpful. I need to be soft and compassionate and understanding in that moment, right? So yeah. I self isolate by spending time with my plants. Yesterday I spent maybe like 3 hours just listening to music and observing plant by my lonesome. And I was going through this whole mentality of like your family is like in the house just like a few meters away in that direction. Why are you not there with them right now? And then I go, yeah, it's a good point. And then I walk inside and then I see most everybody are either, taking a nap or slephoning. And I'm like, aha, okay, we are self isolating right now. And then I go and I self isolate again with my plants. And it felt like there was a sense of understanding of like, yes, I need this too. This is also needed. I'm not being needy. I'm not I'm not being judgmental of others' neediness in me feeling like they need me to be there with them right now. So, growth? Yes. Slowly but surely. I think I'm a little bit of a while behind, but I'm gonna try and catch up. Mm. Joy Vive, you will need either an induction heater or one of those lighters that look like jet engines. When you turn them on, don't know the technical term. I think jet lighter is actually the technical term, right? I think if you search jet lighter, you should be able to find it. You can also search cigar lighters. I think that will also get you a few product options. Oh, I call those meth head lighters. I believe they're called torches. Torches is also the other word for it. That's right. Meth head lighters is best. Yes, type into into Amazon meth head lighter. So you can get your product. I'm so sorry. Don't demonetize us, please. That sucks. I gotta go buy something else. There's a smoke shop around the corner, but I'm sure it's cheaper to buy online. Yeah, I don't know. They should be very cheap though, right? Like $4, $5. I'm sorry that you have to buy more thing. Uh, but getting yourself a relatively decent one of these and then just buying yourself like refill fuel, that's probably gonna be the most uh, cost efficient. I did the math. Like buying one of those cans of refill liquid is like 50 rand, which is $2.50, give or take, maybe $3, depending on the exchange rate. This was $4. It was 80 rand, right? So, and then I can fill one of these with one of those cans 6 times. So, 6 refills would last me about 3 months, give or take. So, it will end up costing you for your lighter setup about seven. I mean, initially, buying the lighter, that's probably going to be like the bulk of your cost. But then going on from that should cost you like $2.50. At least I don't know what the stuff costs in America, so that's also due to change. But like $3 to $5 every 2 months, which I don't think is that bad, depending or considering the amount you'll probably spend on bud. It's annoying. I didn't like the torch lighter. I found it too aggressive a flame to deal with during an inherently mellow process. So I bought the heater. Not cheap, but eventually you would spend the same amount on lighters. Yeah. I did the math as well, Fit. I do still want the induction heater, but it costs as much as the Dynavap does, right? So at least that small little UFO one, the cheapest one you can get. If you want to get some of the good ones, you're paying in excess of like twice that or whatever. And I cannot justify that right now because it's like I can spend uh again $4 on the lighter and then $2.50 on gas for 6 refills. Is it 6 or is it 12? I think I did 12 refills on a can actually. Sorry. Uh which is gonna get again, cost like between 7 and at most $10 or $100 plus, minimum $100 for the induction heater. So yeah, yeah. Maybe if I spend the next year and a half using the lighter, and you know what? Like I think the part of my mind that is getting glitched the most right now is the fact that you so aptly verbalize something that I was in fact feeling. And it is the fact that there is a level of aggression with the lighter. And for me, it actually was a point of comedy that weekend that I was at the festival. I shared, like Dynavap puffs with a few different people to show them, the experience that can be had smoking weed instead. And one person like commented on the fact that that's a very big lighter, to light your joint with. And I'm like, yeah, you need some power, right? You need some force to push the THC out of that little chamber. Like a normal lighter ain't gonna do it. And again, that aggression is something that I kind of like leaned into as a part of the joke, is that this is a piece of metal and you need a forceful unit, like that fucking punches the THC right out of that stuff. But the induction heater, right? Instead of going through that forceful, you can just go, and then it clicks, and you can take it out again. No sounds made. I'm sold. I'm sold. Is that a gobbledygoo? Wow! I've been 27 and it's nice seeing you, brother Bear. Bless you, man. What a fucking cool trip, dude. Missed you. How were you doing? I was like thinking about health shots as of late. So much. Like to an absurd degree. I was thinking health shots. I think it's also because of probably like some advertising. I think HelloFresh or something is now giving health shots with their packages, and they're giving free health shots. And every single time I see that ad, I'm thinking, yeah, I can probably get some free health shots from Gob. Bless you, bro. Sending you love, man. It's nice having you here. We're talking about lighters, riveting content 27. There it is. Wife is accepting of the new greenhouse, and I didn't have to sleep in it last night. Bless. Has it been built? Like as she accepted it in its built state, or has she just seen the box? Fit. I hate dealing with the torch, but how much was the heater? Another 100. Yeah, 150 euro. You probably have like the handheld one in that case. I would love to build myself one. The technology is that not that extreme, but again, building it in a way that it looks nice is going to be the real challenge. Uh, maybe I'll do it that way instead. We'll see. None of anxiety. Sam, I had charisma, of course. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm glad to know before I get my Dynavit tomorrow that I can't use it yet. I mean, if the smoke shop is just around the corner, make an adventure of it, right? Maybe you'll meet someone that is dressed super interestingly. Maybe they have beautiful dreads, right? Maybe they share a bit of wisdom with you that ends up changing your whole life because you went and bought yourself a torchlighter at that shop. Right? And then by the time your Dynavap arrives tomorrow, you'll be torched up, right? No waiting for you. Well worth it. Melt, I said the thing about looking out the window before. You brought up looking at a tree. Yeah, nice, Nancy. We are in sync. Joy, no problem. Any other questions? I'll try my best to point you in the right direction as a Dyna veteran. A Dyna veteran. Nice. The Dyna veterans smoking their Dynavaps. Dude, the amount of freaking marketing we're doing for Dynavap, bro. One day we'll have a brand deal with Dynavap. We will. Watch. Either that or we're making our own. We've said that too. I don't. They probably have that whole clicking cap patented. But there's ways to get around it. You can do like a color changing cap. Yeah, boom. New IP. No, stop. Dynavap execs. Stop looking at me like that, bro. Please. I want to be sponsored instead. I don't want to make my own. That sounds like so much R&D and engineering. I don't want to do any of that. Dude. I don't want to. But I will. If you make me, I will do it. I don't want to, but I fucking will. Come on. Just send me the email already, bro. I know I'm South African. I know trade relations. I know. But I'm just some dude, bro. I'm just some dude that loves your. All right, I'm gonna get past it. Joy, no problem. Any other questions? Bless again. Thank you. That's much for my greenhouse. Lately, I've wondered if my daily weed habit is a form of laziness. Are you doing it from a place of fear? right? Are you trying to escape something? If so, then maybe. Then maybe. Maybe that's a good question to ask ourselves. I think mine, in part, may be from a place of fear, right? If I really do some psychological gymnastics, because one of the reasons I smoke weed is to be a little bit more social. And the fear for me there is that I won't be social, that is. So, fear masquerading as a storyteller. Maybe that's a good story. Maybe that's a good fear, right? It's like the good fear of not falling off the cliff. Should be a good fear that you don't love, don't properly show up for those that you have in your life. So yeah, maybe there's more nuance to it, Nanshi. Taste the meat, not the heat vibes right now. What? I feel it would be cheaper if it wasn't such a niche product. The Dynavap, yeah. I mean, and still, it's not that expensive. I know it's not cheap, but if you look at what you pay for a bong, or if you look at what you pay for like a dry herb electronic vaporizer, or if you look at what you pay for like a decent glass piece, that is gonna last you. That's basically what you pay for it, right? So it is an expensive product, but they are marketing slash positioning themselves in the market as like a tech company, right? And I appreciate that. You can see that there went a lot of engineering into that little product, and the part of me that's an engineer, the part of me that likes things made precise, approves. It's like, like this. This is good. This nice. That's nice. And that that level of nice overcomes, right, the desire it generated in me overcomes my need to conserve the money it would take. Because again, if you look at it from the perspective of smoking joints, I have probably smoked more money of joint papers than the Dynavap costs. So if I never started rolling joints, I would have, in the long run, saved money on papers and 100% saved an exponential amount of money on weed. So yeah, more sales tactics. What am I? Why are we doing this? Because because of fear, excuses. Are we making excuses right now? Maybe there's some level of excuse making. I can see it. There's somewhere hidden, right? The excuses is like hiding underneath like a bed, right? I'm imagining like a whole world that is created as an excuse, and then in that world of excuse, there is things hiding under beds, just random beds, right? But there's a whole world. You don't know which beds they're hidden under. I'm sorry that I'm taking you down this rabbit hole, but that's literally where my mind goes sometimes. It's like, yeah, this fractal. Yeah, this is what I'm feeling right now. What does that mean? I don't know. Sometimes it has to be more complex, I guess. Oh, all right. Let's bring it back. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'll build one this summer. There it is. Yeah, nice. Building one should be fairly straightforward if you are talented in that way. I have no tech ability. I think tech is not even the bottleneck. It's more like craftsmanship. So, learning how to use like a lathe or a CNC machine, and those are very acquirable skills. You'll be able to make one of these pretty easily. I bet we can figure it out, surely. I think of my daily weed habit as much as a way to unwind. Yeah. If you look at the amount of tension we have in our society right now as well, and the ways that we have dealt with it historically speaking, I find weed a little bit less toxic because people have been using substances to unwind at the end of their days for as long as we've existed. There's Toast Malost as well. And people used to throw back drinks every night. as their way to relax, right? And I'm not saying that we should demonize one or the other. I'm just saying that if weed is going to become the thing that we do instead, that might be better for our state of being and for those around us as well, for our society at large. Mel, does your family kill those cows for meat? They sure do. Are they dairy cows? Sometimes. Pets? Not really. They don't have names, and they do not get physical affection. They don't, and not like yeah, we're gonna intentionally not give these cows physical affection kind of vibes. More like they won't let you touch them kind of vibe. So they're not those kind of cows. I don't know. Maybe it's our fault. Probably, right? I don't know. They're cows. They're free roam, you know, free grazing cows kind of vibe. They're not putting it. They're not putting camps and forced to not move and eat the same sludge every day, at least. But they do get to get eaten. That does happen. Sometimes they get sold if money is necessary for like paying school fees or stuff like that. Uh, but yeah, other than that, they turn grass into a higher value resource. That's the engineer's answer about what the cows do on the farm. I never thought about it until seeing them in the background. Yeah, yeah. All right. Haywire Hill cows won't let you touch them except for the biggest bull. He likes head scratches. That is nice. I would love, right, to be able to be affectionate with the cows. Like, for example, when I was visiting my grandma, the horses that lived on the other side of the road that she was living on would be so friendly. And when I would come up to the fence, they would like come up running to me and they would, eat things from my hands and they would allow me to like touch their noses or their snouts, their faces, their long ass face. I don't know how to articulate, but they would let me touch them. And I fell in love with horses deeply. So I was like, yeah, horses are fucking sick, dude. I want to feed horses all the time. I wanted a horse so bad. I begged my parents for a horse, and they were like, no. You know how much work a horse is? They say to me, I like taking care of a horse needs. You're 8 years old, bro. You don't have what it takes. And I'm like, no, I totally got what it takes. I did not have what it takes. I'm happy that my parents didn't buy me a horse. But yeah, the cows aren't like that, unfortunately. At least not ours. And I don't know if you're supposed to teach them how to be like that. That sounds like a full-time job. And yeah, that's not. I think that's the purpose. Maybe for some it is. Maybe for some it is, but not here at least. I'm picturing a montage of us in a science lab, lots of beakers and dry ice, while Kenny Loggins plays in the background. Nice. I do like that. I do like that. I'm seeing montage vibes as well. Don't touch me, I'm tika ish. Sitting you lovins, bro. Don't touch me, I'm scared. To you friends who know, I'm so sorry that I opened that tab again. And to you friends who don't know, I envy you. If you want the cows to love you, build a simple tower of stiff bristle broom heads for them to rub and scratch up against. They will be cow putty in your hands. I've actually seen those things. I've seen those professional or artisanal or refined products in America that have like these screw-in bases, and then you put like a bristle thing on top of it, and the cows do love it. And then some of those that have like spinning motors as well. That does sound like a good idea. It's investing into it that's probably going to be the bottleneck. It looks like a inlay card of a Tool album. Very nice. I was trying to do as many a day as possible for 20 4x4 paintings, 4x4 inch paintings, all the backgrounds, different colors in one day, then painted two butterflies a day. Yeah, That sounds very grindy, right? Like you're not just making art, and you were, and I'm not trying to cast any shade right now, Zano, but you were very much like putting your consciousness in a vice grip and like squeezing that creative juice out of yourself, which you'll get some creative juice out of yourself, but you will feel a little bit tethered, afterwards. I'm proud of you though for creating so much. Like that is still, the value that is created the other side of it. I look at my weed habit as an anti-homicide or age medicine. Calm, right? A feminine entity that you invite into your space that breathes a sigh of relief with you. That's my relationship with weed. Oh, no, 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 no. Someone is out messing with the cows. Self medicating is not uncommon, very much not so. I see this awesome stream. Why do we need to self medicate? A bit of a theoretical question. Because we find ourselves in a sick society. A philosophical answer. Thank you for asking, Nancy. Dopamine. Dopamine is also a good answer, Simon. You want to stay on the depressed side more? Nah, no, thank you. I'm okay. I like good side. I don't want to stay on the depressed side more. I want to, again, like hug and understand the self-isolating, depressed side of me. Be like, yeah, you're also good, sad self. Also you, good, also. And I feel maybe that's like a thing that will take some time and growth. You need to self medicate because we are the only species aware of our own potential for earthly demise. Life be a struggle for animals, but they don't know the complexity, and we do. Yeah, chasing dopamine like everybody else. Manic side, more fun, melt more chameleon man. Yeah, melting. All right. Taking the goo that is me and pouring myself into new molds so that people may see what it is they need to. So that I can form like the exact structural shape that will support their dilapidated state. Propping up so that they may regrow even stronger. I'm thinking about cannabis plants, weirdly enough, right? If a little weed plant got completely knocked over into the ground and you help it up, prop it up again, it will grow again. Sometimes even stronger. And it will be so unique. It will change. It will look differently due to that trauma it went through. And maybe I get to be unbiased from the external perspective. I get to look at a I don't know how to articulate crooked. I get to look at a crooked marijuana plant, like all coming out from all sides, and I get to look at that from a place of this is beautiful, just as much as like a little Christmas tree, perfectly, in the way that it's biologically grown to be, can be beautiful to me as well. Yeah, all we need is a little bit of help sometimes, right? Just a little bit, just a little bit, whatever that means to us. Sometimes that little bit of help can just be spending some time outside in nature. Sometimes it can be inviting nature inside our bodies with our marijuana plants. It looks a lot different for every single one of us, probably. I feel that melt. I don't like when my need to be alone makes those that love me worry that it's their fault. My partner hates being alone, so we have to work hard to find that balance. Yeah, it is rough, right? Especially when it comes to, relationships like that. Bless you, bro. Thank you for being willing to actually consider your partner in the way that you are. I think pondering our demise can be helpful. Memento mori, after all. There's meditation practices that do that. Having said that, I also agree with what you said, Doug. This is true, Nanshi. In certain Buddhist communities, right? Yeah, they have a practice that's called like remembering death. It's like memento mori. They call the practice something else, but the practice basically starts with every single morning. As you wake up and you get ready, right? You can look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself, I am going to die. This version of me that I look at right now will die. And having come to that conclusion again, how will I live my life today? And I agree completely, Nanshi. It does have a great amount of value. Pondering can be helpful. Yeah, it can be very helpful. I agree, pondering our demise can be helpful, but feeling under the gun of constant survival can be the toughest. Yeah. Because then it like changes the dynamics where instead of being concerned with when we're gonna die or not, it makes us wanna die right now. That's the rough part of survival. We're like surviving, but we don't want to. I've been thinking about protein. My moose are growing. Weirdly enough, I've been thinking about protein too. My moose are shrinking. I mean, maybe they're not shrinking, but they look more shrunken than they used to be. Surely, I'm sure. I've like my protein went from an average of like 85 to 90 to like 25 to 30. And I am in part noticing it. I'm eating a lot more fruit at least. So that's nice. That I'm happy about. Fish protein sandwich. I work at a tech firm doing nothing cool, but I'm interviewing for an engineering internship that would relocate me to California for 6 months. I'm hopeful I'll get it. Seeing Goo getting a call, right? And him just like getting the news that he got that engineering internship. And his face lights up with excitement. And he's doing like a hop, skip, and a jump. And he has two doggos that he has in his apartment with him, huskies, right? Are like jumping around, seeing excitement of Gob, being excited with him. Gob starts thinking about the mission of bringing his doggos with him for the next 6 months. He starts calling people, finding things out. You see that fractal? I can see that fractal gobbledygoo manifesting with you, man. I'm the Don Draper of Dynamite. Dog, I've lived hand to mouth. It was survival mode for sure. Gabbity goobity scoobity woobity, love you, bitty. Love you, Chopin. Joe Bizzles, Gavibbles, Gawibblebot. I love you so much. So much love. God will get it. Toast here too. Found a Dynavap induction heater. Homemade on Etsy for $70. That's not bad. That's not actually bad. That's a little bit cheaper than the other one as well. Toasty, thank you, bro. I miss you very much. Love is true. Vaping joins here. Aren't you a barista, Gab? That's cool. It's an art. Gab does everything. Gab is a man of many talents. Gab takes care of doggers as well, on his off days. Mm, that's cool. It's an art. Is that a toast too? What's going on, gang? Love is true. So nice having you friends here with us. Melt, I meant the induction heater feels overpriced. I actually think Get the Dynavap itself is decently priced. Yeah, I think so as well. The induction heater does feel a little bit expensive for what you're getting, right? Especially since you can literally buy full, cheap still, uh, like electronic dry herb vaporizers, right? That has the induction heater and the casing and the thing that you vape out of already built into it, right? So having a battery strapped to a button, strapped to a coil, strapped to a plastic housing doesn't feel like it should cost 150 euros, right? At least in my mind. I feel like that tech should be like $50 technically at the most. And especially with battery prices like they are right now, $50 is a lot still considering. And knowing people that 3D print things, uh, I can do that stuff. So then it gets even cheaper. And the electronics for it should be very cheap as well. I'll do a cost analysis, maybe today. Talk to my brother about making one. I have now been convinced, right? The fact that Brother Duck Dad could find one homemade on Etsy as well means that it really shouldn't be that hard. Sending you the energy, you got a bright future. Gabby Wabby, this is true. Love is so true. I got the cheapest Dynavap. Are you saying the heater cost twice what the Dynavap cost? Yeah, yeah. Like it's a little bit cost prohibitive, as you know Fitz said as well. But again, the torch lighter is what I'm going with, and it works perfectly. Accept the supportive energy, please do. I got mine back in 2020, so my memory is rusty. Related? Nah. Related? No. But the heater was definitely at least 30 to 50 pounds more expensive than the Dynavap itself. Free cows, they may have some feral gene in them. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised. They are South African, like some of them are African cows or something like that. Like they have like a wildness to them. Don't touch me, I'm Teka-ish, beef tikka, rice. My stepmother's family grew up on a farm. Hanging out with cows is the best. They're so wise. I don't know if wise is the right word. They can be very curious, though, right? Maybe that curiosity can look like wisdom. I can see that. My family in the 1800s ran the rodeo, breaking horses and turning them into vehicles. Full out cowboys. That's pretty cool, actually, Zana. If you want the cows to love you, build a simple. I think I've heard that one. Duck, imagine suddenly getting the power to scratch oneself. That must be suddenly going from black and white to color. I love you, friends, and your creative imaginations. For sure, I juiced my brains. Creative juice. Noise. Morning, friend. Shell's here too. Bless you, friend. Even Mojo. Yeah, I use a vape with the heater built in. I love it. Yeah, they are great. That weirdly enough is how I actually stumbled upon this little thing. I was intending after we did sober October, I was like, you know what, Mel, because you didn't smoke anything for a whole month, how about you don't smoke anything ever again and buy yourself a dry herb vaporizer? And I have had my eyes on the Mighty. To you friends who know, you know, I've been looking at that Mighty, being like, And I've tried the Mighty before. I had a friend of a friend who we would hang out with a lot, who had a Mighty. And that thing was nice. I won't lie. It was very nice. But that thing is like $300 or something. So I was looking at this thing. I was looking at the South African website that was carrying it, and it's like $300 here, after all of the import taxes and stuff. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna spend what I make in a month on this product. And then I continued looking on the website I was looking on, and then I see this thing, and I go, and it costs 30% of what the Mighty costs, right? So a third. And I'm like, well, I can afford a third of this thing that I want. That makes sense. And then I go down the rabbit hole of watching a bunch of YouTube videos, and I see people using this product, and I'm like, checks out. Uh, I would like one. And then we get one, and then the first weed we smoke is some, what, $7 around, yeah, $7 a gram, like Primo Indoor. Francis's lemon cheesecake specifically was the first strain we ever tried, and it completely blew my mind. Like, like all of the anime slash meme style, just like explosive mind, fractals. It was incredible, and from that day forward, I was irreversibly cast by the love spell that Mary Jane so beautifully casts. Like Toasty, you haven't seen them. Crafty Plus is good too and a little cheaper. That might be the one I actually end up going for in the short term. A part of me wants to see if I can quickly send photos, but it is gonna disconnect my stream, which I don't know if I want to do. Uh, I'm gonna try for a second. There we go. I did the thing that I wanted to do. I'm sorry for disconnecting for a moment, but I want to show you these things, Toasty. These are the babies I have growing. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And you can see there's some of them that are turning amber, but most of them are pretty milky. Oh my, yeah, yeah, yeah. There we go. That is the reaction I am desire. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. The camera quality is all right. Yeah, like it is. It's one of them 40 megapixel. Look at all the way to the tippity top. This train is frosted. Like I have not seen like the side leaves this frosted up on an outdoor strain just yet. Like this lady is very beautiful. But then this is my, yeah, this is like one more photo of that same lady. Yes, it is. It is quite something. It is pretty spectacular. Little worlds. Right, and you can see the bongles of nugs, right? Like those nugs are like this big. You can see these side nugs as well. All right, and now for the other ones, them trikes. Yeah, like this is the plant that I'm the most excited about. She's not as triky, but the smells on her. Let's see if I can get a. There we go. Like that's what she looks like. You can see them pistils are turning nice and orange, so she is ready to harvest. There's like some of them that are still white, but and again, right? Like I don't know if it's clear, but this is like a lollipopping structure, and these nugs are like these top nugs are like literally this, and you cannot deform them. You push on them with your fingers, and they're like, no one move, one stay strong. Those you grew on the hill? No, 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 no. These ones are the ones I grew at home, Toast. The ones on the hill are auto flowers, dude. They're significantly smaller than these ones. Like one of my branches on these plants would probably be more wheat than I'll harvest from those babies. But you can still see, like, still frosted up. Just not quite as much, especially not on these little extenuating leaves. But the actual bud structure is just gorgeous. And like the trimming shouldn't be that much of a nightmare. It's still gonna be a nightmare. Like, there we go. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very impressive. Nice work. Thank you, bro. I think this might be the best bud I've ever grown. Like the orange little pistils as well. I am very much looking forward to harvesting these buds. I just, as you always do, stress about actually being able to properly dry, because I think I might have to like cut them off as buds and dry them like that. Here's one more photo that I didn't actually show you. Uh, like this is the biggest branch, the one that goes out the furthest. You can see it like started hanging down, so all of the buds were like curling back up again. Oh goodness. And then again, right, there is no smell of vision, but the smell on this bud is like a gassy orange, right? Like citrus, that thick, almost like bitterish orange smell, and then gas, just like bellows of gas. All right, let's get back to chat. Mm, I kind of like Dili. Hi, Dili. Did I miss something? My chat is refreshing. Top thumping weed. Power to scratch with Zof. Okay. I think I have the same one as Johan. That one is actually nice. It looks like mine. Love the dosing capsules. He actually told me about those dosing capsules that he has for it as well. Allows you to like kind of like have like little carry around pods that you can pre-make that you can just like throw in there. I grew up around horses. We and our neighbor were small horse ranchers. I didn't have my own horse though. Maybe maybe that was a blessing in disguise as well. I mean, my fuzzy memories associated with owning the Dynavap, rightly so. We chose each other through the orange grooves of ponies. It is a little cheaper. I'll definitely get the crafty eventually, probably first. Great being with everyone. Have a lovely day. I'm off to watch a sports ball. Simon, the missus is a city site fan. So you know I'm suffering. Love you. Bless you, Fit. We'll see you again. I think mine is identical. I think I've read that one. The camera quality though. I am still impressed. That phone, the phone that took those photos, this one that's taking this live stream right now is going on its fourth year. This August, it will be 4 years old. I am very happy with that as well. Maybe we'll go like 6 years before we'll have to replace our sled phone. And I'm gonna get a camera as well, so maybe we won't even have to replace it at all. Maybe by the time we want to buy another piece of carrying tech, it'll be a pair of goggles or something. Hopefully they look stylish. You know, wearing a pair of goggles is definitely going to have to be a whole lifestyle change kind of vibe. Go. What kind of engineering? Structural. The trichomes are insane all the way down. The best Jovan, but yeah, getting to see Jovan as well. Like that photo that she sent me. I didn't want to just like suddenly show Jovan, you know, against her will. Just went back to see it myself. Yeah, right. Suddenly, you know, the flower that Jovan is on stream as well. Bye, Bookies. Thank you all for the celebrate. Happy Easter. Happy Easter to everyone. I'm going to vape one more time. I'm gonna go and get my way. I'm gonna go and get my drum. I'm going to ask an AI to give me some melody, and then I'm going to drum to it. Sound fun? Maybe I should go and get my stuff first before I vape. That way I can properly get into it. Let me see if I can show you friends a proper perspective. That side is pretty. That side is pretty. I'll pull a card. Thank you, Zano. I'll point you friends there. I'm back in a second. There we go. I have acquired all of my things needed for making music. There's an Eva. And there's a Peppy. It's a Peppy. There's a sweetie girl. There's a sweetie. There's a Swedish. All right. Is this the perspective here? We got the turtle. All right. So, to you friends who don't know, card number 34 in my deck, right? I'm pointing like it's there. It's not. Card number 34 in the old Sacred Geometry deck is called Gentle Spirits. And it's literally a bunch of turtles. And that's the card I associate, card number 34, with Jovan. And Jovan, getting some lovin's today. The fact that we pulled the turtle card. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm just commenting. How's that for a perspective? Hmm? It's pretty hot. That is pretty hot. Won't lie. Brain Reich. While we wait, because this is going to take some time, the music making part of it. Where will I sit? Yeah, Jovan with the turtle. Nice. And then we go here. Am I going to show you the process? Maybe a little bit. That is technically, let me see, once I'm set up with the drum, this is with the dum da dum da do da 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 da. Maybe if I do this. Nay, that didn't help. I'll make you shorter again. Yeah, I guess that will do. We're getting less tree fractal at the top of the frame, but I'll accept. Begrudgingly, he says. I'm gonna ask the thing. We'll switch the instrumental button, and then we'll say, okay, a 120 BPM song. No, I should call it melody, using piano and guitar. Can we do it just that simple? That simple it is. Let's see if it's good enough. We'll try. And if it's not, we'll try again. And if it's still not, we'll try again. But while we wait, I'm going to vape. Love is true. The melodies we're getting also gets an auto-generated little AI art. And of course, there's little Burbies holding guitars. It's like a yeah. We're gonna play some poker tonight. What are the stakes? Oh, yes, see. Sal 'n bietjie hectic steaks
Ek
wees.
vir my speaker op die mix gooi.
Ja. So dan is die steaks lekker actually om te speel.
Ja nee.
Nie vir ons nie.
As ek wen kry ek soos outside toe.
As jy verloor jy 4 of 1000 rand. As ek verloor ek 10.
Ek sê nie vir ons nie. Ek koos 'n extreme drink nou. Dis 5000, nee, 7500 rand.
Ja, dan is dit amper al die prys wat hierin was.
Ja. Wat is dit?
Ons spot en sê die steaks is on speakers. Die ook al wen vat al die speakers.
Ja nee. Ek sê
Yeah, we're playing some poker tonight, and I jokingly ask what are the stakes, and my brother says, you know, whoever wins gets the speakers. No, I am very attached to Way. All right, my songs have been generated. Feel good, laid back pop. It's called. Let's hear. Is it connected?
As ek daai teams dingetjie gekry het voor die tyd, so ek nie verstaan ek het hom nie nodig gekry.
It does have a.
Ek het so teams speaker nou teams.
Feels like it already has my. Is this good enough? What's the next one sound like? Because fortunately, we won't get copyright struck playing this music, which is not the case for any of the other stuff he sings. I think this might be it, but it's being a little bit laggy, loady. So as soon as it actually loads properly, we'll get set up. Maybe while we wait for this thing to actually load properly, we'll read the final card. The turtle. Of course. Like, this is so perfect. My user interface seems to be bugging a bit. What's happening here? Alright. That'll do it. You can just zoom in, it seems. Ancient soul. Grounded. Trusting. At home. In the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship to the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers. The fact that today's stream topic was literally about storytellers, as they collect life experiences under their shell for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When in balance, we find ourselves peaceful, adventurous, and productive. When out of balance, everything slows down to a halt. To bring it into balance, we should go on an adventure. Love is true. What a trip, what an experience, having this moment with you friends. I believe this music's gonna be done. Let's see. I'm gonna get this put down. And I'm gonna get this playing. is loading. I think that might be the end of the track even. This is pain. I am in pain right now. And yet, how does this relate to today's stream topic? Fear? I don't have to make any excuses. There's no excuses needs to be made. Love is true. I made some music with you, friends. It wasn't perfect, but it was something. It was something. We showed up. Damn straight. Nobody can tell us differently. Thank you, friends, for joining me, Gateway. Gateway, bless you. Christian is flying tomorrow. Tomorrow he is on a plane going to Ireland. You should totally meet him there. It's posted. Thank you again, Zano. Thank you, friends, for joining me today, for finding the time to grow, to learn how our excuses can be just fear masquerading as a storyteller. Don't let yourself tell stories of fear. They might be true to some extent, but no more true than anything else. And if anything is true, then you definitely are. Peace out, Doug. Love you, bro. Thank you, Goo. I just have a goodbye message to send. I think my comments weren't loading for a while there. There we go. Or maybe I'm only getting a part of them. I think I lost the first bit of our goodbye message. Is that true? I think it might be. But I can auto-gen one. I have switched to all messages. Yeah, let me see here. Same thing. I'll just say, have the most beautiful, wonderful, absolutely desire-filled. That's the best part. Send it. I'll do it like this. The amount of fractals, it's just making my mind feel so full. Yeah, there's definitely a lot going on up there right now. Conscious nodes connecting. I will wait patiently. So, what is it when you only come to the cult on Easter Sunday? What is it when you only come? Love? Probably. Minimalistic. What? Is it not going through? Send it on Discord. Cannot stop us, but nay. Maybe it's just too much love. Right? Maybe I don't know what's happening right now. My mind is getting gemeld. We'll check on Discord. It's gonna probably hit our. Or maybe I'm just having. Maybe I'm having some connectivity issues. No, okay. My general is loading. I have loaded.
Ja. Kijk,
Boom, boom, boom. Love. It's okay. Improv. No, I don't want to improv. I feel the fact that you said the part that was missing is the best part means that I want it to be. While we wait, let me show you something. In the meantime, let me show you something in the meantime. Look at that dude. What is he doing? Where is he going? Where does he think he is? You can also see the damage Wei has taken over the days. This damage that you see right here was one of the days that one of the days that my dad came and picked me up after staying over at Christian's place. My dad didn't see my speaker on the blankets that he was pulling on, and it just like went whoop, and I got to just breathe. I didn't lose anything, my mind included. I just breathed. Like, it's fine, Dad. Mistakes happen. No, stop focusing on the grass. I want you to show a bug. Such a tiny little buggy. And yet want to live. We used to call speakers boom boxes in the 90s. I mean, it is called, I think, a JBL boombox. So it's perfect. There it is. All right, it has loaded. I'm gonna. I think it might be the bomb. Used to? Did I say something? My mind is so scattered right now. I don't know what's going on. I think it was the trying to make music fractal that messed me up a little bit. All right. Wait. The mo. No, I'm going to try again. I'm going to do a new take. I need to take more breath before I start. Have the biggest bombastically beautiful day. Monsieur Meltmore and all of you oh so fantabulastically spectacular fullest raditatically stupendeliciously extravagantly phenomenistically authentic wholesome humanimal critter creatures becoming aware of the excuses that stem from fear. I feel we had so much opportunity to make excuses, to say no. Let's just forget about goodbye message, and I'm happy that we pushed through. Despite the suffering, thank you, friends, for loving this moment with me. It's so cute. Used to. I'm lost. Love is true. Thank you, friends, for joining me again. I'll see you again soon. Tomorrow, if you were here, I'm obsessed with Peaky Blinders. I really enjoyed that fractal as well. I don't necessarily idolize that life, but being able to see how brutal things have been, how this system we're in basically just begets exploitation, and then exploited people end up exploiting. It's a very real look into life. The bug, it's so cute that it was. It's on its adventures again. I think it might have been like an aphid or something like that. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I love you, and I'll see you again soon. Little queer fool saying goodbye as well. Until tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.